They deserve death. They deserve death. I just got done watching His and Hers on Netflix, and I have not decided if I want to do full spoilers or you need to see this yourself, so I'm going to keep it a little vague and kind of build that intrigue. But you know what? You're in the future, you saw the title, so you know my decision. The basics of this story is a murder mystery. In small town Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, there has been a murder. There's an unidentified body, and our lead detective, Jack Harper, is wanting to solve it not only because he's a professional and it's his job, but also because he was sleeping with the victim. He was potentially the last person to see her alive, and no one knows that the person she was in the woods having sex with, the woods that she was found dead on top of a car in, yes, she was there to go to Pound Town with your lead detective. But we also have our other main character, Anna Andrews, who is using this as a platform, as a jumping off point to come back to work. She was a reporter and anchor woman at KL, whatever the news station is, but she's been missing for a year. Not missing like a missing person, but she didn't tell anybody where she was going. Her and Jack, which are an estranged married couple, they lost their daughter, 6 to 9 month old daughter, I can't quite remember, but she died tragically. And Anna kind of just snapped and then went MIA and left town. She also went ghost on her job, so when she comes back, everyone's whispering, oh, did you know she was coming? Did you know she was coming? But she says, hey, I want my job back. And her boss goes, first off, hi, how are you? But also, you have been replaced. Her nemesis, which was her understudy this entire time, has now stepped into the role and is taking over because you were gone for a full year.
Lexi, Anna's back, you're fired. That's about as complicated as a ham sandwich, Jim. Call her in here right now. I'll do it for you.
She's got a contract.
So do I.
Did.
So if you want your job back, I need you to come back with an incredible story, something newsworthy. So when she sees there's been a body found in her old town that she grew up in, that her mom still lives in, she wants to use that. Her husband sees her for the first time in a year at the actual crime scene when she's questioning him, saying, is it true you knew the victim? Just to stir stuff up. That's what she does. He tracks her down at the hotel she's at, bang, bang, bangs on the door, but you know what? She's a little busy. She can't talk because she's having sex with her cameraman. Scratch that. She's having sex with her married cameraman. Her cameraman who's married to her nemesis at work. And she's not a very good person. But at this point, we're thinking anyone could be the murderer because the unidentified person is her childhood friend. Also someone who was sleeping with her husband. But no, it's her childhood friend, Rachel, insert last name. I don't know if I said that before. But we see in flashbacks, Rachel was, yes, her friend, but also more accurately, her bully. Rachel was a mean girl. Rachel was making people drink pee unknowingly and then telling them just to be cruel. So she's not having the grief that people are wanting from her. She's mostly just there for her job, and she's very, very cold about it. But at the same time, she's dealing with her ailing mother. Her mother also did not know she was coming back to town. Her mother has a bit of the Alzheimer's, a bit of the dementia. So the girl is stressed. She's stressed. She needs this story of all time. She's meeting up with her husband after a year. She's still grieving the loss of her daughter, and her mom has dementia. And refuses to go to the doctor as well. Forgot to add that. She will not go to the doctor. She's stubborn. So we're thinking, well, maybe you were the murderer. Because in a flashback, we see when you came back to town on the anniversary of your daughter's death, you saw your husband sleeping with Rachel in the woods. Because the cemetery is right by the woods. We saw you with your hood on in the rain. We saw that was you. So, did you kill that girl? Or was it your husband who, even though the entire police force is looking for this girl's phone, your husband actually found the phone in the seat cushion of his truck, which they were sleeping in. He has not turned that in. He hasn't even told his partner that he was sleeping with the victim. He instead went to the husband's house because if the wife's murdered, the very first suspect is the husband. We know this. We know this. The husband, yes, he's rich. He's an older man. But they also have an arrangement for sex. She can have sex with anybody she wants because he has a heart condition to where he can't satisfy her.
What do you mean by that?
So she turns off her location and she has sex with whoever she wants. And he just straight up said, yeah, you found my wife in the woods because she was having sex with somebody probably. That's what she does. I give her an allowance for money and she has sex with people. And that was their arrangement. So, of course, he's still suspect number one because even though he was told not to keep calling her phone just to hear her voicemail, he keeps doing it. And we know he keeps doing it because Jack has her phone. Jack is sitting there like, this MFer keeps calling her. Click, click, click. Jack's detective partner or whatever, she's kind of new to this. I think I missed it at the beginning if she's new to detecting or if she's new to being a police officer or if she's new to homicide. I couldn't remember and I couldn't be bothered to go back and look. She's slowly starting to get a little bit suspicious of Jack. We find a footprint at the scene. Is Jack's. We see him with the boots. Is Jack's. She don't know that though. We see the the coroner want DNA because they can tell this girl had sex right before she died. And she wants to know, was the scene contaminated? There was a lot of people walking around. Let's just find out who were police there and who was actually the killer. So give me your DNA samples. Jack, he's pushing it off. He has not given this woman a sample in a while. Keep asking, until we're thinking, Jack, I think you killed that girl. Because not only are you not giving the sample, but when you do give it, you swabbed your 5-year-old niece's mouth so that way it would be contaminated with yours. You're also not sneaking into the morgue because you have business there, but you're going to the morgue asking, hey, did I leave my wedding ring here? Like, can you go ask the janitor to look? You ain't worn a wedding ring in 12 months. You know what you were doing? Over there, you know how they got the pull-out freezers for the dead bodies? He goes and used face identification on Rachel to open her phone. Jack, I think you killed that girl. But, we're still early on. So he's doing all this, being menacing, sees in her text messages, which is why he went in the phone, did anyone else know that I was seeing the victim? Because then it could be a problem. Because people think the last person she had sex with, the reason she was in the woods, is the person who killed her. So if anyone else knows, this could be a problem. He goes to the text messages. He's erasing the pics that he sent her because your boy was sending pics. He was sending pics. He erases those. And then he sees that another girl in the friend group, she knew about him. There's text messages about blackmail to some extent. There's text messages about, did you dump Jay yet? Mind you, his name is Jack. And of course, the next logical suspect or even person of interest would be the girl's best friend. So his cop friend, partner, Priya, is like, hey, we need to go question her. She would know who the victim was meeting up with. Nah. If she knows me, she knows me. She knows that if she had something, she would come to me. He's saying that to push her off. Priya's getting a little suspicious, as were we as the audience. But instead, he's pushing Priya off, but he's actually trying to go and get info from this friend on his own. Because if I'm with my partner and she says, I know who she was sleeping with, and she's sitting right across from me. It's you. You were the person my friend was sleeping with. He can't have that. So instead, he tries to go privately. He breaks into the school. He's looking all around. He doesn't find her. Instead, he goes home and I don't know if he was drunk or what, but he fell asleep. He wakes up, not we wake up, I was awake. He wakes up to a phone call from Priya saying, we have another dead body. There's another dead body. The girlfriend, which again, I'll insert her name. I forgot that girl's name. Something Wong, probably. She's been killed. Her throat's been slit. I don't know if I said it, but Rachel was stabbed 40 times. So I know it was something of passion. So Rachel stabbed 40 times. The next person in the friend group, her throat was slit, and the word liar was written on her forehead, and her eyes were stapled closed. Rachel had her fingernails cut off, and it said two-faced that was like written on her nail polish. So someone has a vendetta against these girls. Now they were mean girls. Anyone could have killed them. So it could have been anybody. But the friend, she's actually the headmistress now of the all-girls school that they all used to go to. And the person who called in the body, that was Anna. So we're all tied together now. Anna, why were you at that school? How did you get in the school? Because the doors were locked. Well, we know you used to go there. So you broke in because you knew how to break in before.
It's been over 20 years. I'm surprised that St. Hilary's hasn't changed the locks. And not as surprised as Ellen was.
You didn't call the police first when you found the body. You called your cameraman to get a story. Okay.
Sorry, was that in bad taste?
I'm suspicious of you now, Anna. So now at this point, I'm thinking, did Jack do it or is Jack covering for Anna? Did somebody else do it? Did the husband do it? Because he's steady calling that girl's phone trying to drain the battery, even though the police told him not to. He also called the friend right after the police left his house to have a little secret talk with the friend saying, hey, they're on their way. They know X, Y, and Z. Stick to the plan. I was like, what? So who killed this girl? You know, even though if I was in that universe, I probably would have killed her because she was a bad person.
We are going to pretend we didn't hear that.
We also see in flashbacks that not only were they not friends, but her mom, Anna's mom, was the housekeeper for all these rich girls' families that she was in their friend group with. So they kind of had her around as the less than person, as the punching bag of the friend group. It looked like eventually maybe they got to the frenemies part, but the flashbacks we saw, if you got friends like that, you don't need no enemies. So that's why she's kind of not, she's not excited, but she's also not, she's not sad that either of those girls died. We even see a scene beforehand with the friend, girl, if I don't remember this girl's name, let's call her Kate. We see her with Kate and with Anna as there, it's a lot of animosity.
You look good. A little tired, maybe, but in a good way.
You look about the same. You know, I always love that haircut on you. You got rid of your glasses, though.
Yeah, LASIK.
Must have been so much easier to stick your head up Rachel's ass without them, huh?
The person I'm deeming Kate says, yeah, I knew who she was sleeping with. And kind of says it in a way like, it was your husband. She says it kind of like that. She even throws the fact that she has a dead daughter in her face and then calls her secretary to come and escort the girl out. So they all deserve to die. That's what we're getting. But we don't know. At this point, is it the friend group being targeted? Is someone in the friend group trying to off them? Or is it somebody they bullied? Or it could always be the married man sleeping with the victims. I forgot to mention that the third girl in the group, in the little friend group in college, is Jack's sister. We're all connected. And she was also a mean girl. She's kind of a hot mess now, but she was also a mean girl. They were all in that together. The fourth girl, her name is Catherine, and she's the one they had drinking piss. She's more on the big side, and they were making fun of her. And then later they kind of brought her over to the house for Anna's 16th birthday and said, oh, we were just kidding. That wasn't really pee I put in your drink. And, oh, thanks for having me over. Kind of, it seemed like they became friends later. But then we see that's not true. Jack keeps getting calls that his mother-in-law has been walking the streets at night. She was naked. She was walking around because, when you lose your mind like that, you lose your memory. So throughout the whole movie, we're getting those calls that she's getting progressively worse. Anna even says, you need to come live with me because after this case, I'm going back to Atlanta. We're not being in a small town no more. You need to come back with me. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, but that's not the point of the show.
You sure about that?
Priya, the detective partner, she starts to look not only suspicious at Jack because first off, he didn't tell her he was married. He has been hiding things as far as they put a trace on the first dead victim's phone. He canceled it. Also, those boots that were at the crime scene that we saw the stamps of, those were his. So there's a few things that she's starting to get a little suspicious of him. But she's also suspicious of his wife, Anna. And she brings that to the briefing table and is like, hey, Anna knew both victims. Anna had animosity towards both of them. She's using this as a career platform. She broke into the school. She didn't tell us XYZ. I think it's her. Like, we're looking everywhere else, and I think the killer is just Anna. At this point, I was thinking that too. Jack, of course, he didn't like that. He's throwing a hissy fit, and he's saying, well, you know what? Screw you, Priya. Screw you, boss. F you and the clique you claim, pretty much. And his boss says, you know what? You have a million leads because the husband put out a bonus. What was it? A reward bonus of $50,000. So there's tons of leads coming in. So you go through some of that. You figure that out. One of the leads, he calls this man, another person who was sleeping with Rachel, and says when she came down from the building, like the hotel or whatever, she had been slapped in the face. He cross-examines that with who was actually in the building. It was like an apartment building, whatever. And the person who he thinks it is, the one that his wife was sleeping with, the married cameraman, he lives in that building. So he potentially knew Rachel. He's the one who slapped her because At a previous background check, he found out that guy had been arrested for like assault and battery for breaking a woman's jaw. So we found our killer, didn't we? We found him. They had been having beef the whole movie. He goes to the bar that he's at, eventually punches him in the face, and they start fighting. Basically, we find out that he wasn't even in the country when she got slapped. So dead end, but you still sleeping with my wife, so I'm gonna have to chop you up. Jack's sister is getting a little worried because there's been multiple ones of my friends dying. I forgot to mention they're not only dying brutally, but also a friendship bracelet that they wore in high school that we see was in the yearbook with them all wearing it. That was something Anna gave them all on her 16th birthday or whatever. Is shoved down their throat as they were dying or as they lay dead, whatever. So she's worried, saying, "Hey, my brother's a detective. I need you to protect me because all my friends, all my high school friends, they're all dying, and I was also in that friend group. So, like, can you protect me?" The entire movie, of course, Anna is a reporter. She has tapes from when she was younger, when she was practicing this. Rachel, who they have said swings both ways, and she had a thing for Anna back in the day, gives her a Wonder Bra as her present for her birthday, which it was doing nothing. She had zero titties, so it was doing nothing. She actually convinces her to take a picture. She's like, "Oh yeah, pose for the camera." It was peer pressure at its finest. So she takes a picture on their walk through the woods. They have a secret place that they made just for Anna. It has couches and kind of like a party outside. Oh, all 5 girls are gonna have fun, blah blah blah. And then some boys walk up. Some men rather. Some men walk up, and it gets a little dicey. We kind of cut from there. And then, of course, since the sister was worried, she is the next to die. Point blank in the period. She dies. I don't know if they didn't say how she died yet, but she's in a bathtub. Blood is all in that bathtub. There's no water to be found, and Jack finds her. Yikes. Meanwhile, someone from the studio, which was most likely the nemesis, calls the hotel and says, "Hey, they don't need those rooms anymore. You can cancel them." So Anna and Richard, they're stuck because they're supposed to be there for a story, but we don't have any hotel rooms. You know what? My in-laws have a place. This is Richard talking. My in-laws have a place. Let's just go there. We'll finish, and then we're heading back to Atlanta. This town is busted. So as she's driving with him, she's thinking, and she even says out loud, "Why didn't you ever mention that your in-laws have this place?"
That's suspicious. That's weird.
They're driving through the woods. Then they get to this cabin. It's pretty nice, but she's outside like, "I'm gonna get a car. I'm not going in there," because he reveals his wife is inside. His wife's inside, and she wanted to bury the hatchet. So you set me up. Eventually, she can't get a car, so she goes inside. He says, "You know what? Make yourself comfortable." As she's walking around, she sees a table with a bunch of stuff on it that was tools, killing supplies maybe. And she said, "What kind of kinky stuff is this?" And he's like, "Girl, no." That's not what we're doing here. She walking around a bit more, sees some photos on the wall, looking. And then she sees a photo that's covered up. The corner has a little paper on it on the person's face. She pulls it off. Who is it? It's Catherine. It's the chubby girl from her friend group. So she's saying Catherine, and then we kind of bounce around to other pictures, seeing Catherine was fat, and then she got skinny, and then she dyed her hair, and then now, Catherine, that friend that you had, that you were pretty much part of her bully circle, y'all are both being bullied, but that's your current nemesis at your job. That you were just sleeping with her husband, that you're at her house now, and she tricked you into being here. You're in the middle of the woods, and no one knows where you are. So now I'm thinking, oh, she's the killer. She's the killer because she also is going by a different name. Early on in the film, we found out from the detective partner, Priya, that family, one of the girls died because she was looking through the yearbook trying to find connections. This is back when she was trying to accuse Anna. She's finding these connections. We see in a flashback, Catherine's sister was making fun of her for being fat. And then once they go out to the lake, she's steady pumping that girl's inhaler. She's like, "Hey, bring my inhaler. I forgot it, whatever." She's walking out, pumping that thing. There ain't nothing left. She's getting rid of all of it. They go out on the water. She needs her inhaler, doesn't have it. Well, she has it, but there ain't no puffs in there because your sister been. And then she dies. So this must have been what she was getting blackmailed for, which was in the text messages. Okay, because she did that on purpose. Okay, and now she has changed her identity. She has worked at the same place at her as her high school nemesis, kind of. And now people in her friend group are dying. Girl, you're the killer. You're the killer. So Anna gets on the phone with Jack and she says, hey, I'm at XYZ. Mind you, when she calls him, he's holding his dead sister's body. And she's like, come get me. This is where I am. This person is this person. You gotta come help me. Richard walks in the room. Says, who are you talking to? Who is that? They start getting in a tussle. Richard and Anna get into a tussle. Now she keep that thing on her. It's in her purse. So she's shooting at him, blah, blah, blah. She missed every shot. So much to where the gun has nothing in it. So he turns around trying to get her again. She locks him in the room. And the wife, Catherine, which I think now she's going by like Kelly or something. She comes out. They started tussling. Jack, come on. Jack, come on. Where you at? We flip to Jack. Jack is being held at gunpoint by his partner because at this point, Priya is convinced that he's the murderer. He contaminated the samples. He knew the victim. He was sleeping with the victim. He ordered the trace to be canceled on the phone. He confronted the victim's husband. There was like an altercation there. He's being violent. So she's like, you need to, this is her with the gun. You need to tell me what's going on. So she holding the gun here and he's covered in blood. So of course she's thinking, okay, something is up. He's walking towards her and I'm thinking, girl, don't let this man get on you. Don't let this man get on you. And he does. He gets the gun from her, knocks her out. Not before she calls for backup. The police eventually come to the house. They see Priya. I'm presuming that they found the body. And her and the chief, I don't know if they say he's a chief, but I'm going to say he's a chief. Her and the chief, they start talking as they're on the way to pursue Jack because they know where he's going. They start tying together the loose ends. So we're getting all of those things are clicking now. Woo! Anna's in trouble because Anna's fighting with her in the house. Catherine pulls out the gun that Anna has. She don't know it's empty. She pulls it out. She tries to shoot Anna. Jack, you know how you be diving in front of people and save them from the bullet. The split second after they land, Catherine / Kelly, whatever, shot in the head by Priya. She made it to the house. I don't know how she made it that quick, but she made it to the house, saw her partner and a victim being held hostage by a gun, so she shot her dead. She's back to anchoring. Her hair is longer, so it's been a time jump. And as she gets off air, the girl is pregnant. She's big pregnant. Her and Jack are back together. And his niece that he had pretty much been raising, that she's kind of part of their family now. So they're all going back to that small town where her mom lives. They're bringing her flowers. They're outside gardening with her and stuff. She sees a note on her mirror, like on her vanity. She starts reading it. And it was the same narration, the start of the same narration that we had heard throughout almost every episode. There had been a point of narration, maybe a couple sentences. This was not our main character talking. This was a letter that she was reading because the voice changes. Whose voice is this? It's her mom's voice. Her mom had written that letter to her. Turns out, her mom was the killer. I didn't see that coming. I didn't mean to scream at you, but her mom was the killer this entire time. And what gets me, and it's gonna get you too. So, everything was the same. Anna went missing for a year. Her mom had those tape recordings of her. She starts playing those tapes. She said, I made it last for the better part of 6 months. Allowed myself 5 minutes here and there just to watch it to keep you close. She got to the final tape and it wasn't labeled. So she was, okay, I put it in. The second I put it in, I realized what it was. It was your 16th birthday. We see the rest of that flashback. As those boys walked up, they're going after Catherine. And there was an exchange of money. So there had been 2 pictures taken. One was in the bra with Anna and then one just of Catherine. Rachel's punk self, she's sitting next to this grown man, shows him the pictures, and I guess he picks one because he hands her a wad of cash. Okay, the men start going after Catherine. Now she's screaming and she's like, hey, like, let me go, let me go. Anna, who was filming the whole thing, she puts it down, puts the camera down, and she's like, hey, get off of her. She starts rescuing Catherine. Catherine runs away. But then they take all that aggression, all that rape out on Anna. Anna is crying out for Catherine to come save her. And Catherine looks back and she's like, F you, F all of you. As the girl who rescued you is actively getting assaulted. Okay, that's a choice. And the mom is watching all of this because it was all on camera because she had put the camera down. She filmed everything, put the camera down, and it's watching as Catherine is running away after her daughter cried for help, as her daughter is getting assaulted by 3 grown men, and as those 3 bullies, you will never guess what they were doing. They were singing happy birthday to her as she was getting assaulted.
Death to all of them.
I said, oh, you didn't die hard enough. You did not die hard enough. I'll just say it. She was getting raped. I'm getting raped by 3 men that you invited here, that they paid you to attack me. And they're singing happy birthday. And they're singing it slow and nasty. Oh, they deserve death. They deserve death. And then, oh my goodness. Okay, calm down. So her mom's seeing this. This is all in the letter that she's writing. Like, hey, I saw XYZ happen. And then she says, I started planning. I saw the anchor woman who took over for you. And even though I'm getting older, I know faces. She goes through her daughter's old yearbook, sees Catherine, the little chubby girl, looks up at the TV and says, that's you. So mama knew already. She knew that was her. She goes to the cemetery each day thinking her daughter is going to come to visit the grave because she still wants to see her daughter. She doesn't. But on the anniversary of the death, remember how Jack was having sex with Rachel in the woods? Anna saw them having sex. The mom was also at the cemetery peeking behind a tree. So she saw Anna see her husband have sex. So she slashed that girl's tires. Jack drove away because he got his, so he drove away. Tires are slashed. Rachel's like, hey, who's there? Who's there? It's the mom. Stab, 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 stab. 40 times. Stabs her. Leaves her on the car. Strips her clothes off. Then starts walking through the highway and stuff on the road. She was faking that dementia. She was faking that dementia. We thought that she had been found walking, roaming like that because she was losing her mind. She knew what she was doing. She was pretending to be senile so that way the bloody clothes wouldn't be on her. And then, since she was in a servant role, people gave her keys.
Forgotten, ignored, invisible. Year after year. Same locks, same doors, same keys.
So she had a key to get in to that school where she killed the second girl. She had a key to get into the house of the third girl, Jack's sister. And we see her holding that girl underwater. In all of the scenes where she was being senile and like asking people for coffee, but again having the water and stuff like that, she was like, side-eyeing, seeing, oh, is this working? She was doing that on purpose, intentionally. This is all in the letter. She was faking dementia. And then she says, what'd she say? Something to the effect of, I'm telling you now because you're pregnant now and you're going to be a mom again.
Killing Rachel brought you home. Killing Helen kept you here. Killing Zoe gave you the family you lost.
I was sitting right there watching. I was jaw on the floor. I want you to show your baby girl that a mother's love is unconditional, that a mother will do anything to see her child happy, and goes into like this long monologue. She's reading it. She looks out, sees her mom. Mom sees her. She don't look confused. She sees what you're reading. She's crying a little bit. Anna's crying. And then it slowly turns into like not a smile, maybe like a smirk, maybe like a thank you type look. Girl, I can't even remember if that's how it ended. Is that how it ended? I think so. That was twist on twist on twist. I really enjoyed it. I think you should watch it. Even though this video spoiled a lot of stuff, there was some points I left out. You don't know. Go watch it for yourself. It was 6 episodes, very quick. A lot of them, I think all of them actually, are under an hour long. It felt fast. I watched it all in one sitting. I thought I was only going to watch them in one or two, and it went so quick. You should watch this. You should see what I left out. If not, at least you have this video, you know? Oh well.